The med bay of the exploration vessel was silent, except for the soft hum of medical scanners. 3 alien medics stood around the diagnostic table with growing confusion. The table sat a human, not lying down, not restrained, not unconscious, sitting there calmly while drinking water. Dr. Veleth of the Kareth species adjusted the scanning lens. Again the reading did not change. He checked it a third time. Still the Samavlith slowly looked up at the human Daniel Ortiz. Your skeletal integrity. Scan shows multiple fractures. Daniel nodded casually. Yeah, that sounds about right. The other medic, Jorah, almost dropped her tablet. You confirmed this condition with such calm behavior. Daniel shrugged. I slipped during the landing run. Veleth blinked. His 4 eyes slipped. Yeah, the ramp was icy. Jorah zoomed the scan display and projected it into the ear. The glowing hologram showed the full human skeletons. Several bones were highlighted in red. Cracked rib hairline fracture in the left arm, 2 fractures in the right hand, ligament damage in the nimicro, fractures across the shin. Jorah stared at the list again, then at Daniel. You are aware that most sapient species would be immobilized by even one of these injuries. Daniel tilted his head. Really? Tapped another scan panel. Your nervous system is still sending normal activity patterns. Your heart rhythm is steady. You show no shock response. Daniel took another sip of water. I mean, it hurts a bit. The medics stared at him. Veleth leaned closer. You classify this as a bit? Daniel rotated his wrist slowly. Yeah, maybe a 6 out of 10. Jorah turned toward Veleth. What is 10? Daniel answered for them. 10 is when you really need to sit down for a minute. Both medics froze across the room. Another alien medic named Threx entered, carrying trauma gel. He stopped when he saw the scan projection. What catastrophic accident produced this pattern? Veleth replied. Slowly, he slipped. Threx waited for the rest of the explanation. Non-Comithrex looked at Daniel. You appear functional. Daniel smiled. I walked here. Jorah nearly dropped her tablet again. You walked? Daniel nodded. Yeah, the ship AI said the medbay was this direction. Veleth felt a strange sensation humans called disbelief. Human Ortiz, how long ago did this accident occur? Daniel thought for a moment. About 2 hours ago. The medbay became completely silent. 2 hours. Veleth checked the scans again. Inflammation was spreading tissue. Damage was obvious. Pain signals were present, yet the human remained calm. Threx slowly approached Daniel. You have been active for 2 hours with this damage. Daniel nodded. I helped unload the cargo first. Jorah turned sharply. You performed labor. Daniel shrugged. We were short-handed. Veleth placed a hand on the console. I must confirm something human. Daniel nodded. Sure. Veleth pointed at the rib fracture on the hologram. This injury alone would incapacitate most known species. Daniel looked at the image. Yeah, ribs suck. You agree it is severe? Daniel tilted his head. Not really. The medic stared again. Daniel continued. I cracked a rib during high school wrestling once. Jorah looked confused. What is wrestling? Daniel smiled. A sport where people try to throw each other onto the ground. Threx made a quiet noise of concern. You intentionally participate in activities that cause skeletal trauma. Daniel laughed softly. Sometimes. Veleth opened another scan. Layer bruising across muscle groups, internal swelling, minor nerve irritation. The list continued. Veleth spoke carefully. You should be experiencing severe pain across multiple systems. Daniel nodded. I am. Jorah leaned forward. Then why are you sitting calmly, drinking water? Daniel thought about it. Because yelling will not fix it. The medics exchanged glance. Veleth initiated a deeper neural scan. The results appeared seconds later. Pain signals were indeed strong. The human brain simply continued functioning around them. Veleth whispered to himself. Remarkable neural tolerance. Daniel overheard my grandma says humans are stubborn. Stepped closer with the trauma gel. You will remain still while we treat these injuries. Daniel nodded. Sure thing. Velith activated the bone stabilizer field. The device projected a soft blue lattice around Daniel's ribs. Daniel inhaled slowly, then winced. Noticed immediately that produced pain. Daniel nodded. Yeah, that one bites. Velith recorded the reaction. Even with fractures, the human only showed minor discomfort. Began applying regenerative gel to the damaged hand. The gel reacted instantly. With the injury, Daniel watched with interest. Cool stuff. Jorah blinked. You are fascinated by the treatment of your own injuries, Daniel smiled. I work in construction back home, so I have seen worse. Velith paused. Worse? Daniel nodded. One guy dropped a metal beam on his foot once the medics waited. He finished the shift before going to the hospital. The medics processed this slowly. Jorah spoke carefully. Was that individual considered abnormal among humans? Daniel shook his head. Nah, pretty normal. Velith felt a growing sense of unease. Humans had been classified as resilient, but the medical data suggested something more. Finished sealing the fractures in the hand bone. Knitting gel began repairing the micro breaks. Daniel flexed his fingers. Nice. Velith immediately stopped him. Do not move that limb yet. Daniel raised his hands. Okay. Jorah studied the scan once more. Then she asked the question that had been forming in her mind. Human Ortiz. May I ask something? Daniel nodded. Sure. If another species experienced these injuries, they would likely collapse or enter shock. Daniel listened. Yet you walked here calmly after working for 2 hours. Daniel shrugged. I figured I should get checked eventually. Velith leaned closer. Eventually. Daniel nodded. Did not think it was urgent. The medics looked at the injury projection. Against several fractures, internal damage, significant pain. Yet the human had categorized the situation as not urgent. Finally spoke. I understand now why humans are called death worlders. Daniel chuckled. It is just practice. Jorah tilted her head. Practice. Daniel nodded. Gravity is heavy on Earth. Stuff breaks. You learn to keep moving. Velith slowly saved the scan data. This would be valuable research. Extremely valuable. He turned back to Daniel. Human Ortiz treatment will require 30 minutes. Daniel nodded. No problem. He leaned back slightly. The medics worked carefully around him. Bone stabilizers, regenerative gel, muscle repair, foam throughout the process. Daniel simply sat and chatted about Earth. Construction sites, storms, sports injuries, camping, accident stories of humans continuing normal activity with injuries that would hospitalize most species. By the time treatment ended, the med bay was quiet. Aganvith looked at the final scan. Bones stabilizing tissue, repairing pain signals, slowly lowering. He looked at Daniel. You should rest for the next 24 hours. Daniel smiled. Got it. He stood up. Careful. Jorah froze. You should not stand yet. Daniel tested his weight gently. I feel better already. Velith stared. Medical gel does not function that quickly. Daniel shrugged. Placebo, maybe. Threx whispered to Jorah. I believe humans simply ignore damage until it stops them completely. Jorah nodded slowly. Daniel stretched his shoulders slightly. Then he smiled at the medics. Thanks for patching me up. Velith spoke before Daniel left. Human Ortiz. Daniel turned. Yeah. Velith paused, then asked quietly, how did your species survive on such a dangerous world? Daniel thought for a moment, then gave a simple answer. We fell down a lot. The medics waited. Daniel grinned. And we kept getting back up. Asterisk.